Hi, everybody. So I'm going to go through this assignment, um, and it's called Is Space Exploration Worth the Cost? And it is a short reading where the author goes into detail about why we should explore space. So it's very similar to the last article that we read from President Kennedy about space exploration. The difference between the last article and this article is this article asks you to do some interacting with it. So, as you can see over on the side, here is the text. This is where you're going to be reading. And then over on this side here on the right, it gives you a number of tasks to complete while you're reading that has you stop and do some things with the text to make sure that you're understanding what you are reading. So I'm actually going to read this text to you, and then we're going to do the first four boxes or the first four questions here together. So I'm going to start here with the text. So this is paragraph 1, and it says, Why explore? Asked why he kept trying to climb Everest, English mountaineer George Mallory reputedly replied, Because it was there. Exploration is intrinsic to our nature. It is the contest between man and nature mixed with the primal desire to conquer. It fuels curiosity, inspiration, and creativity. The human spirit seeks to discover the unknown, and in the process, explore the physical and psychological potential of human endurance. So now that I've read that paragraph, I'm going to look over at my close reading tasks to see if there's anything that I need to do. So question 1 says, highlight the question at the beginning of the paragraph in green. So I'm going to go over to the beginning of my paragraph and see that there's a question here, why explore? And I am going to highlight that in green, like it says. And then I'm going to go to the section 2, summarize the author's answer to that highlighted question. So it says, why explore? So now I'm just going to kind of look at my text here and see how he answers it. Why explore? Because it's there, it's intrinsic to our nature, it fuels curiosity. So I'm just going to write a couple of things. I'm going to say we should explore because the opportunities are there and it fuels our curiosity, inspiration, and creativity. And I'm going to change that to a different color because it is my answer and I want to make it clear that it's my answer. Perfect. So now I'm going to go down to number 3, which says define the word endurance. And the word endurance is right here. So it says the human spirit seeks to discover the unknown and in the process explore the physical and psychological potential of human endurance. So first I'm going to see, am I able to tell what endurance means just right there in the sentence? And it is a little bit challenging. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to a new tab and I'm going to just look up the word endurance. The fact or power of enduring an unpleasant or difficult situation without giving way. The fact or power of enduring an unpleasant or difficult situation. Okay. So I think what I'm going to write, to keep going even when things are tough. And I just kind of like summarize that definition in my own words because, of course, the dictionary definition is going to be a little bit tricky and challenging to understand. And then the last line here, it says, look at the line written in red. What is Vernikos, which is the author, trying to say about the human spirit? So I'm going to look at the red. It says, the human spirit seeks to discover the unknown and in the process explore the physical and psychological potential of human endurance. So I think what they're trying to say there is that humans are consistently wanting to discover new things. So humans are wanting to discover new things. I think that's going to be good enough. Okay. Oop. Wrong. All right. Okay, and then I'm going to keep reading. And so, guys, I'm not going to do the remainder of the questions for you, but I will still read them to you so that you can understand what they're asking. So we're going to go to paragraph 2 now. There have always been the few risk takers who ventured for the rest of us to follow. Because of earlier pioneers, air travel is now commonplace, and space travel for all is just around the corner. Economic and societal benefits are not immediately evident, but they always follow, as does our understanding of human potential to overcome challenge. 50 years after Sputnik, space remains the next frontier. I think that's interesting that they keep saying the next frontier because I noticed that President Kennedy in the last article used that same wording. All right, we're going to go to paragraph 3 here. And I'm noticing that my next question asks us to pay attention to paragraph 3 and highlight every time the word human appears. Again, I'm not going to do that for you here, but I am just going to note that I would have to highlight in orange every time I see the word human, and then I would have to answer this question, why are they repeating that word? So, without risking human lives, robotic technologies such as unmanned missions, probes, observatories, and landers enable space exploration. It lays the groundwork and does the scouting. But as I heard former astronaut Thomas Jones often say, only a human can experience what being in space feels like, and only a human can communicate this to others. It is humans who repair the Hubble telescope. It is humans who service the International Space Station, ISS. Mercury astronauts were the first to photograph Earth from space with handheld cameras. Earth scientists in orbit on the IS may view aspects of global change that only a trained eye can see. In addition, studying astronauts in the microgravity of space has been the only means of understanding how gravity affects human development and health here on Earth. It is highly probable that, in this century, humans will settle on other planets. Our ability to explore and sustain human presence there will not only expand Earth's access to mineral resources, but, should the need arise, provide alternative habitats for humanity's survival. So, in that paragraph, guys, I did notice a lot of the word human happening in there. So, I would highlight all of those and then ask myself, why do they keep repeating human over and over and over again? What are they trying to emphasize to us there? And then I also noticed this question 6, it's also about the third paragraph, and it asks, what is the purpose? What is the author's purpose in the third paragraph? So I would ask myself, what is the author trying to do in this third paragraph? What's their purpose here? All right, we're going to go ahead and go on to paragraph 4. At what cost? Is there a price to inspiration and creativity? Economic, scientific, and technological returns of space exploration have far exceeded the investment. Globally, 43 countries now have their own observing or communication satellites in Earth's orbit. Observing Earth has provided GPS, meteorological forecasts, prediction and management of hurricanes and other natural disasters, and global monitoring of the environment, as well as surveillance and intelligence. Satellite communications have changed life and business practices with computer operations, cell phones, global banking, and TV. Studying humans living in the microgravity of space has expanded our understanding of osteoporosis and balance disorder, and has led to new treatments. Wealth-generating medical devices and instrumentation such as digital mammography and outpatient breast biopsy procedures and the application of telemedicine to emergency care are but a few of the social and economic benefits of manned exploration that we take for granted. So I'm looking at these questions over here, and they're all about paragraph 4, so I'm going to read them to you. It says, highlight the 2 questions at the beginning of paragraph 4. So Those are right up here. And then it says, underline the claim Vernikos makes about the benefits of space exploration in paragraph 4. So it wants us to underline the claim. And we have to remember the claim is what is their opinion? What is their belief? What do they want? And so we would go in there and we would look for that and we would underline where we think their claim is listed. And then for number 9, it wants us to highlight in pink 3 different lines in paragraph 4 that would be considered evidence to support the claim. So whatever you underline and identify as the claim, you're highlighting 3 pieces of evidence in pink that they say in paragraph 4 to support it. All right, paragraph 5. Space exploration is not a drain on the economy. It generates infinitely more wealth than it spends. Royalties on NASA patents and licenses currently go directly to the U.S. Treasury, not back to NASA. I firmly believe that the Life Sciences Research Program would be self-supporting if permitted to receive the return on its investment. NASA has done so much with so little that it has generally been assumed to have had a huge budget. In fact, the 2007 NASA budget of $16.3 billion is a minute fraction of the $13 trillion total GDP. And here's a question for paragraph 5. Using your Level Up tutorial notes, what type of evidence does Vernikos primarily use in paragraph 5? So I'm going to repeat to you the 5 types of evidence that they discuss in the Level Up tutorial notes. So the first type of evidence are facts. And so we would ask ourselves in paragraph 5, do they use facts, which are pieces of evidence that could be proven true 100%? Are they using examples here, where they're just giving us examples to illustrate their ideas? Are they using statistics, so numbers? Are they using percentages and numbers to prove their point? Are they using quotations, where they're quoting information from a professional to prove their point? Or are they using anecdotes, which are little short stories that an author may include in their writing to support their claim? And so that's where we would write our answer down here. What type of evidence is being used in paragraph 5? All right, we're going to go to paragraph 6, which is our last paragraph. And it says, what's the hurry is a legitimate question. As the late Senator William Proxmire said many years ago, Mars isn't going anywhere. Why should we commit hard-pressed budgets for space exploration when there will always be competing interests? However, as Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo did 50 years ago, our future scientific and technological leadership depends on exciting creativity in the younger generations. Nothing does this better than manned space exploration. There is now a national urgency to direct the creative interests of our youth toward careers in science and engineering. We need to keep the flame of manned space exploration alive as China, Russia, India, and other countries forge ahead with substantial investments that challenge U.S. leadership in space. And so here are the questions that go with paragraph 6. One is to define the word legitimate, which is listed right here. And again, if we cannot figure out what the word means using our context clues, then we'll just go up to a different tab and we'll look up what that word means. Number 12 says, what is the counterclaim they address in paragraph 6? So to remind you what a counterclaim is something that the author includes where they are respecting the opposing opinion. Well, remember, our author's opinion is that we should explore space. So my question would be, where in paragraph 6 does he understand that some people might not want to explore space? Okay. And then number 13, it says, what is his rebuttal? So wherever he acknowledges that some people might not want to explore space, what does he say afterwards to prove them wrong? And then the last section here, number 14, you're highlighting in yellow a line from paragraph 6 where he's using an emotional appeal. And so, to remind you, an emotional appeal is where an author tries to convince us by making us feel some type of emotion. So, that would be happy, angry, excited, connected to this topic. So, where is one line in there where you feel that this author is trying to make us feel emotionally connected to this topic? All right, guys, so that's what we're doing with our reading, okay? We're reading and we're completing these close reading tasks to make sure that we truly understand this text so that we can complete the question here at the bottom. So the question at the bottom says, explain whether or not Vernikos convinced you that space exploration is worth the cost. Review your reading notes as well as your level up tutorial notes and evaluate the strength and reasonableness of the claim and evidence offered. So, what this is really asking is, based on all the evidence that this author gave, do you think they were convincing about why we should go explore space? So, this is going to be your opinion. If you think yes, then you're going to use all of your writing sentences, looks like a minimum of five sentences to explain to me why you think, yes, this author has convinced you that we should go explore space. If you say no, then you will use your minimum of 5 sentences to explain to me why not. And notice it says, be sure to cite text evidence from the text in your response. That means you need a line from this text quoted down here at the bottom to support what you're saying. Guys, do not be afraid to reach out to myself or one of the Miss Wright or Miss Briscoe, depending on what class you're in, to get some help on this assignment. But I really encourage you to please try it on your own first, and then reach out to us if you would like to check us or if you have any specific questions. All right, guys, thanks.